The work that we are doing is ultimately in an effort to improve the lives of other people in the community.
Yes, so the name of our lab is the MeSA lab, and it stands for the Metabolism and Stress Assessment Lab.
Our lab examines everyday life stressors and community level burdens and their impact that they have on the community, with a special emphasis on chronic diseases. Now, the researchers in our lab are students at CSUN, and so the health outcomes that we investigate really depend on the researcher and what their specific interest is. Here in the lab, our mentor allows us to kind of investigate the health outcomes that we are passionate about.
The research that I do in the Metabolism and Stress Assessment Lab is very important to me because I'm able to look at diverse populations using our data set called the DREAM study that I used for my master's thesis. And it's very important because it focuses particularly on 2 race and ethnic groups, which is very uncommon in like the broad scope of the literature. So we only focus on Latinos and African Americans. So it's been very nice to be able to see myself in the research, because normally when you look into the body of literature, you don't see a lot of like just focusing on those underrepresented populations.
The research in my lab is really important because we focus a lot on stress. And for me personally, I have my own autoimmune disorder. So for me, I got very interested in studying the impact of stress on my own health. And you know, it's very important in today's society, all these up and coming trends that are affecting metabolic disorders and chronic disease. So for me, I think that we're just really doing some very impactful work here in this lab.
Well, mentoring. That's definitely one of my favorite things to do. It's one of the reasons I actually came to CSUN, seeking an experience where I could develop a lab and have students and be able to mentor them. In my prior faculty position, I taught a great deal, and it was very fun, and I learned how to engage with the student population. However, it also taught me that I really enjoy working with students one-on-one.
The MeSA lab is exciting to me because I get to come into a lab space and kind of just mingle with a bunch of other scientists that are like-minded. I rely on them a lot as like a social support system, and I really just go to them for questions and advice about, you know, going down that master's and PhD pathway. So I'm just really excited to have that kind of like social bond and community.
But I think my real favorite memory is being able to work with my principal investigator, which is Dr. Toledo Corral. I have known her since like 2017 when I was at the undergraduate level at Cal State LA. I met her through there, and she's the one that like opened up the opportunity of taking my master's here. So it's nice being able to see her evolve from being purely a professor to now being a professor, with the addition of getting grant funding for this, you know, very prestigious study that we're working on.
My favorite thing about the MeSA lab is the people that I've had the pleasure to work with. I have been around, including my mentor, I have been around a lot of impressive, empowering, inspiring women that have really helped push me forward and been supportive of me. And I really didn't think that coming into these spaces I would be able to find that kind of support, but I really have from the members in this lab. And I think that really has to do primarily with our mentor and kind of the dynamic and the culture that's emphasized in this lab.
So for students who would like to join my lab, this is the number one piece of advice I would give you, is come with an open mind. We have preconceived notions of what research should be or what it is. And I think the way we grow the most is to come in for any activity, to come with an open mind and know that every piece of every task that we conduct for a research project is going to contribute to the bigger picture. There are definitely some fabulous things to learn. It takes some patience and an open mind and enthusiasm, of course. So that's what I would tell a student who's interested in joining the lab.